Jesus Christ, man. Oh, give me a break. I don't know what to do with myself. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our live stream. I know it's been a long while, but we're back. Back with vengeance. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all of you out there, covered with snow from head to toe. Yeah, back from the holidays, and we have a little situation here. The stream is not going according to my program, okay? And I apologize for that. I had a song for you and everything. I was going to perform. Also give you a profitable setup. That's coming up. But mostly perform. Basically, I just wanted to do a little Christmas special, and the whole thing just got screwed up. So for those of you who will stay to the end, until the very end of this torturous live stream, you know you want it. There will be prizes. So, yeah, activity rewards. It's a Christmas special, and since we have nowhere to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Okay, so hey everyone, chat, let me just see what everything is looking like here on the chat side, because it was horrible, right? It was very bad. Like the beginning of this was the end already, and I'm not sure I like the setup, but here we are, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We're live. Let's use in the chat here. Mamoni, Clifton Lewis, Emla Denkus, John Bon Johnny. I'm gonna call you Bon Jovi. 8 Bear. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Let's get into it. Should have listened to that buy signal in the video. It was just in time. God damn it! All right. You know what? No worries. No worries. We're gonna play it. Let me just figure this one tiny little thing out here, and we will begin shortly. Oh my goodness. You cannot be serious right now. It's a buy signal. But is it too late? It's not too late. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know what is going on here, ladies and gentlemen. I have some issues with my setup here. Sorry, I'm just gonna be a little crybaby for a little second, because look, you rest, you rust. You already know this. This applies to everything, not just trading, but everything in life. You rest, you rust. Remember, that's one of the pillars of our philosophy here is if you rest, you rust. All right. But don't worry, you can still trust me. Not me, but the charts. You can trust the Bitcoin charts. And it's hope for our favorite orange coin. And also, I think I'm becoming a maxi, like a hardcore maxi. I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. I've been converted. I'm starting to realize a couple of things here. I'm becoming trader turned political holder, almost. Met a few interesting people, and realized a few things, and it's I don't know, kind of still absorbing it all. But yeah, Bitcoin is the future. Let's just make a long story short, in case you didn't already know. goes back to the days of 2013, Cyprus. Mind-blowing shit. Also, God damn you. Okay, there we go. Are you guys in a rush? You gotta be somewhere? No? Okay, then stick around because we've got stuff coming up. You don't want to miss it. I mean, you can. Doesn't mean you have to stick around, but I'm just saying. Patience rewards. And this is no different. I don't. Hold on. Okay. I'm almost there. Hey, so this completely ruined it. This ruined it for me. It just completely ruined it for me. This setup here, like what was audio routing? Okay. Yee. We've got to figure it out finally. I'm just going to let it run. Just going to let it run. Dude. Dude. I mean, where's the chart? Where did the chart go? There was a chart just a second ago. Why is there an error sign? Tonto?
Yes, you are.
Can you fix it?
There you go.
Thank you. You're amazing. I should just. Come on! Bring it over, will you? Bring it over. There we go. Next time, give to me. Ba-da-ba-bam, bam. I hope you enjoyed it. That was the whole point. That was supposed to be the intro. Wow. You know, we're really doing it. Delayed gratification, ladies and gentlemen. Delayed gratification. That was the whole point. That was everything. I wanted to get this out there, and this is a little Christmas special gift for all the yous. Yeah, let's just get right into it. So Bitcoin, I do recall me leaving the platoon on a final note saying that I think we will rally into Christmas, but then there's more downside to come. Ba-ra-pa-pum-pum. So let's try to understand what's been happening here. And it's like, come on, guys. What are the By the way, I am going to dump 20 days worth of P&Ls off of my laptop. Well, less than that, I lie. Just under a couple of weeks. But every day in this range, there was a signal set up on MarketSpy. Nobody needed to hold your hand. Nobody needed to show you the way. You didn't need to look left or right, up or down. You just needed to look straight right into your glowing monitor and see the beauty that is MS. Click that market maker button on every buy signal and just hodl your position all the way to the moon. And ladies and gentlemen, you now are witnessing what we call a little bullish divergence. But how real is it? How far is it going to take us? Let's try to dissect the chart and find out if any of it is true. Is it a fake out? Is it a pump? Here's what I think. I think we have more upside, but we are going to be getting a little dippity dip, and you want to be a part of that. A couple of interesting things. I did have briefly 5 minutes to take a glance at the chart, and I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, in terms of how far we're going, let's just say that we're going to print about 9 more of these kind of daily candles, which brings us all the way up to the 60s. Ooh, bold statement, CR. The 60s? Are you serious? Like, so why wait for an entry? Why not just buy now? You're right. 1% of the account. Don't do this. This is not financial advice. I'm just letting you know that this is based on MarketSpy. I'm not even gonna I'll show you why. So let me buy. Buy. And there we go. We gotta turn off my market maker over here. By the way, daily ATR market maker, you can go on vacation, come back, and be sitting on those golden nuggets of sats as prescribed by Dr. Nakamoto. And you're golden, especially in the consolidation range, approved by Ranger himself. And trading here in the range was relatively easy. Relatively. The 1% knew it. I knew it. Everybody knew it. This is a breakout, far from it. So, as a matter of fact, there's still a couple of things that we need to fix. All right, moving forward. So it'll be a couple of days, maybe consolidation, a little dump back down to the range probably. But what we're seeing here is a long standing divergence. This is something. Don't look at the momentum here. I beg your attention. Shift it over to ladies and gentlemen, lightning. The fastest acting oscillator that we have here in this package. And this is how these diverging oscillations work. You see this right here? What are we looking at? Daily chart, right? Circle it here. And circle it here. This already played out. And there's still more upside to go. Why? Because it will go on for the duration of the divergence. So there's a little trend line on it. I'm just going to simplify things a little bit. There's a little trend line. We break it, we go down a little bit, right? If we break it. And then we continue until we peak out and post one of these guys over here. That's a very strong presence of a trend. And we're now in the transition zone. You haven't seen nothing yet. It's just the beginning. You didn't miss out on anything. You're not late. You're not early. It's there. But this divergence here is going to push the price target all the way up to here and sweep potentially these lows. Reason is simple. Since the peak, we have not posted a higher low, a proper lower high, sorry. If this is a developing downtrend, we're going to see it. We're going to see it, and it's going to look as broad as this gap over here. Do you know what I mean? So while the range looks very uncertain and there's lots of FUD all around the place, I think we've been dumping for a while, and we're consolidating. We're still consolidating, and this is going to go. I just want you to remember this range here. We were in the same situation a few. I was going to say years ago. It does feel like a couple of years ago, but this range took us 63 daily bars. That's 2 months of consolidating, and so far right here it's been 16 days. So add another couple of weeks of nonsense and we should be on our way, if not now. But my point is, you should be buying these pullbacks as our friend Dixie there takes a little breather from his now Turkish lira, if it's any indication, the markets can have wild ass swings, and it can be worse than this at times. And what's Bitcoin known for? Bitcoin's known for, it's known to go up most of the time. And in this case, it's no different. After a dump, we have a couple of rules, right? What are the rules? The rule is we dump, consolidate. Candle sideways means we don't want to go lower. Compression after a dump calls for an upside potential. Compression at the top calls for either a brief continuation before a collapse or an immediate retrace back down to the mean. So here we have deviated far enough from all the moving averages and the baselines that are most important. And most importantly, we're going to see a lot of volatility here just because because of what actually we need to get that chart back in here. Hold on a second. It's not set up. This is my new desk, as you can see. I have a treadmill right there. Seriously, it's just horse riding, mountain climbing. and just being out there in the wilderness does this to you. Can't feel my legs, and I can't even sit down because all my muscles and my thighs, everything is just burning up, which is a good thing, but it's also making me feel a little feverish. So not about to hop on my treadmill, even though I promised you guys that I would, but it's not happening now. Trust me, you don't want to see me huffing and puffing out here, going like, so the next target, hey Rocky, what do you think about it? 60 scale? Oh, yeah, I like it. What do you think? Yeah, Mickey, I like 60s too. But let's start from the top down. So we're going to bring in our DC. Look, we have 12 months. It's the end of the year. What do we say? We said that intraday, you're looking at a daily CPR. You're trading the 1 hour, 4 hour, 15-minute charts. Weekly CPR ranges, you're looking at a daily chart minimum. 5, 4, 3 allowable. Monthly CPR, you're looking at, what are you looking at on a monthly CPR really? You're looking at weekly ranges, right? And weekly chart setups and everything in between. And then you also have your yearly setup, which is 12 months worth of data and 2,000 days back. And this is what we come up with, right? So we can switch it up a little, go over here, and bring our monthly in. We're seeing the divergence, just the beginning of the dump, right? New monthly candle to open and most likely to push us up a little bit, and then we should be following through and going down. So not out of the woods. Don't get excited, but it's the next month could be, the monthly open could be very slow, or it could be very, very sharp. And I think it'll be very sharp. I think it'll shock a lot of people because allow me to present to you the compression on this developing CPR right now. You cannot see it. It's a yearly CPR, guys. Do you understand what yearly means? It means a move so violent, so powerful, so potent, so decisive that this could be, if you get it right, a very good start of a new year. Now, for me, I'm not, we're not getting excited over these setups and saying, I'm going to hold it to infinity. We know that directionally, this is likely to open up towards 60s, right? But then it's going to continue going down. Now we only had two candles. Could we see another? I don't know. Fundamentals are kind of still strong for Bitcoin, and my worst case scenario, 39. I'm still buying into 39, but we have advanced quite a number of points here. So bouncing off of that previous support here showed us that there's buyer interest. Fight is on. Bears and bulls are, going at each other's throat. What am I doing? Nothing. It's just the same old, right? I see daily setups. I'm trading intraday charts. You could be at your battle station. You could be sitting at your laptop, on your phone even, and still achieve the same results. And so right now, the momentum here is quite weak, but we're buying into it. This break above the green CPR line is the first in history. So historically, I don't know what the cycle is going to be like for the bull, but we broke above it, bounced away from it, retraced at HC, and we're now at this critical crossroads, at the point of no return, and we want to see what Bitcoin does. And what it's going to do is it's going to give us a small little pattern. I don't think that this is the low that we should count for the closing price. I think there's one that's incoming right now, okay, for the monthly, and it's giving us a little wedge based on the closing price on the monthly chart. But at the same time, the case for the bears here is since we had one rejection at the top, second rejection over here, 1, 2, We can also expect a symmetrical setup from below. We had 1 point where we bounced here, and then this little, I don't think this was the low. All right, this is just a little pullback, and then we had a candle. Now we're having a pullback now, and I think it's a bounce point. All right. In terms of technical analysis, what you can expect here is if we, let's say we break down, right? This is a yearly CPR, and we're going to revisit 20K. Simple as that. 20, 25, 20, I don't care. You cast the ladder, you hold that for a couple of months if it goes there. Now, if you're long here, you want to go with the trend and you want to be taking profits when the market gives you these little jerky movements, right? It's a little skittish right now. Bitcoin, the market is still not sure, but looking at how been compressing here for quite a while. We're seeing a wick. Maybe we can see a couple of more wicks from below here. Maybe pick up those. But we're pushing longs, and remember, we're still within the platoon. By the way, Discord, hello. I have to check up on you. I'm terrified. I don't know. I don't know how many messages are waiting for me there, and I'm not trying to get into that before Christmas, all right, guys, after Christmas. So, yeah, and so, what was I saying? What was I saying? Remind me? Christmas, Discord. Yeah, in the platoon. We're not seeing any signs, any calls for any short setups. Not yet. Not unless you were short from the 60s, and you still are, and you have your stop right there at the 60 where we're likely to revisit, then yeah, you should just stick to that. I think there's very little that's left. You're trading leftovers below 50, and most of the bread is up there closer to the 60s. All right, so it's gonna keep. It's gonna look. If we have a double M, I don't want to speculate. I don't care what the pattern is. I think we're in a stage of Bitcoin cycle where we're gonna have a few more green candles. I'm not saying we're gonna go to 100K right away and never come back. I'm just saying we're gonna consolidate here forever. This is the kind of thing that you have to understand. There are titans and industry veterans and people who got in recently that are going to be fighting for this and pumping more capital into this to sustain it, because ain't nobody getting out a few months later. It's only been a year. We pumped a little bit, and it's like, okay, volatility is insane. It is. But what does that mean for us? Do we get shaken out of the market, stop trading it, and then just go all in cash? Mind you, I am majority right now, still in cash. Okay. But the workhorse, my working balance is working. All right. It's not sleeping. It's never sleeping. There's not a day, I may not be there to tell you about, but there's not a day where I miss a good setup. So, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of good setups, I'm not even going to look at lower time frames and explain what you could have been trading on MarketSpy, but there are a ton of profitable, very few failed signals. We do get those once in a while, but failed as in you didn't have an immediate reaction. Like, for example, we had a couple of pyramids which you had to be patient if you got in on those and you wanted to come out. Exactly what I preach and teach on this channel is that you have to be patient a little bit. Now, if you used a stop loss anywhere in that range, you got wrecked. Prove me wrong. Change my mind. But I'm not talking about you, the 1%. I'm not talking about the platoon or our Discord or people who have been following this channel. I'm talking about traders in general that have been out there doing their traditional TA. And they're thinking that they're being smart by throwing stop losses all over the place inside of a range, no less, after a dump, thinking that a price might go down and go down lower. I had my 10K ladder cast, a fat ladder on one of the accounts. A fraction of it got picked up. I woke up to a plus 5,000 pump. A few days later, it was a very small amount, but it was one of my bigger accounts, and $10 million easy. Believe what I say. Like those freaking other groups out there that are like, guys, not 10 million, but enough to last me for like I can survive out there on what it made me, that fraction of a trade. And we're saying thousands, right? Not millions here. That's ridiculous. It doesn't happen. $10 million. Yeah, I made $200 million the other day. No biggie, right? Anytime I want to get in on a limit, $200 every hour. That's realistic. Do you have the time for it? Not me. I don't. But some people do. But all I'm saying is casting a ladder and continuously monitoring this price range. Look, this is all I'm going to leave you with. You know the maximum distance that this thing can go down to. If this breaks, like if the next candle opens and we have, instead of a pump Sember, deep, I don't know. We could technically be heading lower, and down to TC. That's a virgin TC. It hasn't been tested, and if it does, we're looking at a double M, shape pattern here. And if it breaks down, it's very simple. We're going back down to a stack of these purple staircases here. That brings us back down to the close, the open, but we already bounced from it, and it was a pretty aggressive bounce. Very low volume, price is diverging. So this blue wave, just so you understand, in order for us to resume the bull trend and be 100,000% confident where we can hold for a little while and not have, worry about taking profits, what is going to happen, what will need to happen is this thing needs to reset. The next best buy for you hodlers out there who want to get it, which I'm looking forward to, but you have to be patient. You don't have to speculate when that is going to happen. Listen, when this thing, the blue wave, goes below the zero line, you start accumulating like a madman. You don't go all in right now. Remember, we're in a bull uptrend, which means you should be feeling bearish. You have to understand this. If we're trending up the whole way up, now you shouldn't let it impact your decisions to go long with the trend, but you should. It's only relative to your profit taking, right? So you're thinking to yourself, we've been going up for a little while now. What am I going to do? I'm going to take profit when I have a profitable range, when I have a trade and it's time to close it in profit. Aiming for consistency means you're not trying to make more than what you made yesterday. That's Wall Street. That's actually the real dumb money, because it's a lot of money that comes and goes just as fast. But for you, my friends, I recommend that you simply follow along and trade systematically, right? Like a robot, like Bybit Pro here. So besides, Bybit Pro is delegate that task to Bybit Pro. All right, set up your break evens. Now you have sophisticated tools. Now the latest version that's coming, actually it is out. I'm outdated as hell. But the latest version has these break-even points and everything, right? So delegate that task to Bybit Pro and let it take profit on the ATR values. I guarantee you that whatever the distance, whatever the price you're getting in, just don't be greedy with that ATR. Understand that if you're on a daily chart, you're looking at a 15 ATR max. We do understand what 15 is, right? So this range here, from here to here so far, it's 1 day and 12 hours. Your intraday is here. I don't care if you went short or if you went long. If your 15-minute ATR on a daily chart was set to 15-minute ATR, you took money from this range. You made profits. You didn't hold like a hopeful soul would without any knowledge of anything. You understood that the distance away from our baseline measured in ATR on an intraday chart equals to 15 maximum. In order for you to trade 1 hour, 4 hour ATR values, you're automatically thinking to yourself that you are likely going to hold this for a few days. And you better be sure that you have identified a trade or a trend that is going to go on for 2-3 days without stopping. Just in your direction. Now, inside of a range, there's no certainty. And if we were to look at Bitcoin's daily range, these are equal candles. So if you're shorting, if you're longing 15-minute ATR max on an intraday, you're taking profit. You're consistent, right? Does that mean closing your trade 200 points later? Even if it takes 8 hours to do so? Yes, absolutely. So that's what you're aiming for. You're not aiming for a swing here because it hasn't, baby's just hatching right now. Now, there are a couple of things. We don't know if it's like this or if it's out. My bet is the first is not the obvious. The second one is the real deal. So if you think that this is a breakout, I think not. Looking at this range here and the moving average, we have yet to break out of this consolidation. I just think that you should go flat on this whole thing instead of messing around with these diagonals and everything. Just do a flat one. Go flat. All right, and chill. That's, it's not a, a rising pennant, falling bearish wedge. Stop labeling shit. All right, stop labeling it. It's a range. Okay, we don't know if it's bullish or bearish, but I can tell you one thing: if we've been dumping, and the majority are short, like everyone was short Lira. Had a conversation with a friend of mine, and brilliant guy, but an idiot, complete idiot. Greed takes over brilliant minds. So you can be smart and say all sorts of things. You're fundamentally educated and you know what's good for, you have some crystal ball, whatever, I don't care. The fact is, this dumpage here, right? People went short. Their stops are most likely here or even here. And none of these peaks have been triggered yet. However, people who have been going long early without a system in place, anywhere they attempted to go long, they got flushed out because every single low on the candle here got taken out. Every stop got triggered. And you'll say, well, what about stops here? Well, who had the time to go long over here and put the stops here? Not that many people. But in this range, there's lots to accumulate, lots to trade. And I think traders are right now just kind of looking to go long, and they're too early for a swing position. I mean, like for something that they can hold on to, they're early. For those of us who trade like intraday, it's been a very profitable range. I can attest to that. So after a little dump, it usually works like this. The market will look at this range and say, oh, we peaked out, similar to what we're doing right now, and then we completely broke down. Boo-hoo, that's bad news, right? The same is going to happen here. Actually, I would argue that the opposite is going to happen here. I think we're going to see an equivalent of this candle to the upside here. And then we're going to bleed out. I think this will be the moment where many people will be calling it head and shoulders. And the market needs to give them that setup so they can see it, so they can sheep up on it and just go like, meh, right? Head and shoulder. So Peter Brand can get triggered, so Tone Vase can go, right? So all those guys can start coming out again with their theories and hypotheses and everything. So we're just waiting for that. And instead of waiting for a confirmation bias to tell us to go long, I think the downside on Bitcoin, obviously, if you think about it, it's it's kind of like unlimited, right? The upside is capped, but in a bull structure like this, we'll see. Upon the breakout of this consolidation here, I think we're gonna range here all day. So do what you did. MarketSpy buy signals absolutely murder this range. Now, for those of you who are wondering, like, how is ATR, how is it related here? So look, for the ITP trades, right, for take profit, if you look at these lightning bolts, which suggests that you should incrementally take profit. But I was thinking the other day, and I talked to one of the designers of the algo, and I speculated. I said, well, why can't I just like build a position based on those? Why can't I just incrementally build a long or a short instead of two? Let's say I don't have a position. Can I not do the same with buying into it? Like, for example, if I have, because these are based on like the values of ATR. So sometimes you have a bunch of them printed on the tiny little candles. Well, I can't find an example here, but they just keep printing, and yeah, Turkish lira would be one example. If you look at it, we had so many of them, and if you were building into that, right, that would have been a very nice, profitable trade. However, just by looking at these guys, long take profit, long take profit, long take profit, long take, or short, every peak and valley here is marked. How about this over here? Went short and there was no take profit, right? But let's say you went short here, incrementally, short here, price pump, you went short here. You're sitting somewhere around here, and I think you keep adding on those, price is going to revisit like these levels, and you're going to come out in profit, almost guaranteed. The way I use it is when I start seeing them at swings meaning we had run a little difference from the bottom. So for example, from here, it's a visual distance, and you're like, okay, wow, crossover over here, like we ran up, is like, damn, they're starting to show up at the top. Now you're short biased at the top, so you're looking at those things. But technically, you could have you just continue trading these, just unlimited power, right? Like there's nothing in the world. This is specifically for Bitcoin. It works on Forex, but it's for beta assets. Because hey, MarketSpy, we don't really care about your slow ass moving indices that are just like 5 points a year. You know, print a signal and then exit on the next candle a year later. We want something that freaking moves. All right, Bitcoin minimum. That's the baseline. Shit coins and everything else. You guys figure out how to exit on any of that stuff, and you're just killing it. Absolutely killing it. But yeah, you're getting in on these signals, and yeah, I thought I'd share this with you. Don't try to like jump right into it right now and start doing it. But a couple of things here is that this algo here, as unique as it is, you know, you have to understand the compression of the time frames. As you go lower, the frequency, look, let's go to 30. Keep watching this range. You see how it's cleaned up now? Yeah? Let's go to 1 hour. This is the wait time period and the ATR distance needed to print. So yeah, here's a good example, right? Lots of these bad boys over here, but you know, if you were started to build a position, for example, here, and you look at this and you're like, yeah, could this be the bottom? I don't know. You always aim for a low, a higher low, lower high, doesn't matter. And then when a signal prints there, that's when you want to get in, right? So those are obvious areas. When you have the first candle pulls down, it's not an immediate signal for you to go long or to go short, because it's just, you know, it's a couple of candles off of the peak. You know, we've been pumping. Now we're going down, and suddenly it's telling you to reverse, and it's not a significant distance compared to like all the other ones here. Well, let's keep going. 3 hour chart. Look how it compresses, and the quality of the signals actually remains the same, but the distance needed to run from each one of these signals, every peak and valley here is marked for you, a profitable range. So why do we say that the higher time frames are quality? We have to learn how to maneuver around that, how to have a relationship with higher time frames. We can't be nagging them every 5 minutes. We just set it up, let it run, come back to it a few days later. If you're looking at a 4-hour chart, is not an intraday setup, guys. Yeah, it's under a daily candle, it's daily chart, daily candle, whatever. It's not an intraday setup. 4-hour is, for me, that could turn into a weekly, 1 week trade. A trade that's going to run for a week. Yeah. Like 16 bars, 3 days, right? Although you could be exiting this on lower time frame, 15, for example, and way earlier. But look how the compression and the quality of the signals, it increases as we go down, and things become a little bit more obvious, both on the oscillator, on the algo, and the couple of logical brain instances that tell you, we dumped, we should pump. Market dynamics. How do we punish the trend followers? We go in the opposite direction. It's very rare that you can find the majority to be right. Like if everyone is looking at this thing and it's been going down and they're like, so the trend is down. It's very hard to beat the market and kind of follow through with this and assume that the majority will win. Most likely they will use. However, those who are right, they will be tested. We will be tested. We will get in, and then we'll take forever to have a setup that we're looking for. It'll take forever to go up. And it'll keep consolidating, convincing people that it has no power to go up. And then you get a dildo. A green lightsaber that just keeps on going and going and going and going until it's completely exhausted, right? And the more people FOMO in, the harder it goes. And then you're like, what? How did that happen, right? And the whole Discord wakes up and everyone is back from vacation, right? And it's like, whoa. Yeah. So that's rare. But that we have to assume that is what's going to happen. And the way we trade here doesn't mean we have to put everything on the line. Some of our capital can be, sitting there waiting. You always need to be halfway in, halfway out. Never go all in. Never go full retard. You can't. You have to have, because when the opportunity comes and everyone is Christmas shopping and everyone is happy and they're buying in at cheap prices, scooping it up, you're like sitting there, it's horrible, outside the window, looking outside in, everyone's comfy by the fireplace, and you're out there just surviving and praying. It's horrible. It's not even funny, but you can imagine what that's like psychologically. So you should always have a little bit, be available, because you can always average it out, and especially when we're not talking spot. Everyone's on YouTube. When they talk about derivatives and margin trading, they assume that somehow their TA and everything else is related to spot only, and it makes things very simple. It rids those gurus and everyone else of their responsibility and their followers to establish a channel through which they can communicate that, look, there's a big difference, right? When you're playing with margin and when you're just spot. Spot, you can just buy in. What are you doing here anyways? What are you doing here, Steve? Go back to work. Put in your ledger and forget about it. Oh, was that Mark? You want to know when to buy? I'll tell you. Go to a weekly chart. Wait for a red pocket over here. Start buying in. Start buying in. Okay, Bob? Okay? Start buying in. Is it now? No, not now. Wait for a black wave, a tsunami to take over, sweep everything from below here. Look at these platforms. Look at the green. We already had a bounce on the green. Do you want to be buying at the green again? No, go a little lower. Assume. But start averaging in at R1. Go back to TC and CP. 200 moving average. Never been tested for the first time. Will it? Maybe. A mega crash. You want to be a part of it. Coronavirus part 2. Okay, Mikey. That's what you got to do. Got to get in on it. Don't be like Joseph over there, overthinking it. TA is simple for you spot guys. All you Carl the Moons out there, be patient. You don't need to time the market. You just need to be in the market. Or buy now, because look at Bitcoin's chart, right? Does it even matter? That's your game. Now, our game for derivative traders, we're very specific here. Very specific, right? And we want to know for sure when. And we've got all the tools at our disposal to be better than 99 out there. Chat, we have prizes. Christmas prize. At the end of the stream. And I have a secret metric that I'm going to be using to determine the winner. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But let me go through the chat real quick and see what's going on. 3 comments. Okay. The usual. All right. So. Microphone. Ooh. So here's the thing, right? Everyone and their mom loved the Shure SM7B. That's the one that Michael Jackson used to record his album, The Thriller. The Bitcoin Spiller. But we're not like everybody here. I got the microphone that Pokimane, and she's better at TA than most of these YouTube gurus anyways. So I got the same mic that she has. Because I don't know. I typed in like who's been streaming for 10 years plus, right? Pokimane came up. An expert. I was like, okay, what mic does she use? Boom. Now you telling me I sound like a DJ? No. I am the DJ, the crypto DJ of all DJs. No, not the wolf of all streets. The wolf of the universe of Bitcoin. You guys seen the Citadel? No, you haven't seen the Citadel. Yeah, this is the Citadel, right? The 1% that's supposed to be the chat. We're inside of that spinning wheel of fortune, and we're above. We're like right there next to the Mars. Before Elon thinks it's gonna discover something new. We're already out here, okay? That's right. We are already out here. Now. Yeah. Let me just do a couple of things over here. We're gonna talk about this. This is needed for the contest right here. Okay. This is needed for the contest. Oh yeah. Hey, this trade that I'm in, is already up by a lot. Like ATR value a lot. 15-minute ATR. You know, that's an intraday trade right there. It's nice. It's nice. But we're gonna hodl. We're gonna hodl because this range doesn't matter. My point was to just simply tell you that this is what you want to do when you're going with the trend. Doesn't matter if it goes up, down, falls, goes left, right. It's already been established that it wants to go up. It wants to go up. So, and yeah, this price right here, what you're looking at, this little precious little. Give me a second. We're gonna start the game. We're supposed to be seeing the 1% chat. You know, my chat is the 1%, is what I decided to call it. Okay? Because there's no other way to call it. What am I going to chat? No. You're the one and only. And I don't care what anybody says. There's only 1%. And that's you guys. Nobody else. Okay, so we are going to bring this chat back in. Hopefully let me try this. God, it's not working. Maybe I should, I don't know, like refresh it or something. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, am I supposed to? Okay, you know what? Don't worry, my child. We have a plan for you. I think I know what is wrong here, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get you in here through where's my technician when you need him?
I'm right here, CR.
You're a horrible technician, Tonto. You cannot get this thing done. I don't know. It's so simple. Cannot get it done, can you? Holy Christmas tree. There are a lot of elements here that I need to first understand. I don't think I can do this on my own. If you rest, you rust. Come on. Open up, Citadel. Open up. Sesame, open up. Can somebody please remote hack me and help me set this up? What do you need? What credentials do you need? Dude. Yeah, looking for a chat element, and it's not even called chat. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out what it was called, what they called it. Okay, you know what? Wow. Ah! So look at that. Look at that. Bazam! You like them apples. There you go, guys. There you go. Cyber Monday sale. Look. We're soon taking MarketSpy offline. No more sales. Those that got in, got in. The rest of you guys can go back to Market Cipher or some other shit Decatur out there and have fun with that. All right, so let's bring this back in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last time we talked about, what did we talk about? Well, this chart in particular, right? We looked at this chart and we said that we are most likely going to be ranging here for a little while. So far, so good. We're still sitting at HC of the previous range over here. It's right here on the purple line. So trading through it, in and around it, it's okay. I also said that it's likely that we are in a retest. Now, of course, this is just one way of drawing it. This is not factual. This is not something that you draw on the chart and you say, okay, this is it. The thing is, this is what I was able to identify using my experience, and so many people have it set up differently. So some of them, they're doing this. They're drawing a line here, drawing another one here, and they're saying, well, what if it cracks and if it falls, and then Bitcoin is going back down to 10K, double top, double M. We broke down on the OBV. The trend is over. Sure. The thing is, what are you going to do? You're going to wait until, why are you speculating now? If that's your chart, and that's what those bears are thinking. If this is your chart and you think your target is here, then go ahead and trade that. I am trading a retest of the pattern that we were looking at. We're not drawing a new pattern. We're looking at the pattern that we had, which took a freaking year and a half to play out. From here to here. Actually, scroll up on the platoon, and where I kept posting these little from my cell phone, right? I said I just like looking at it from that perspective. I had this line drawn over here before we even had the peak posted here. Like when we were down here, I had a line posted. I said we're likely going to print this. So away from here, from one of our early bull calls, from right here, the swing low, we went up and posted all this. This pattern was already pre-programmed into my psyche. Okay, this is what we were looking at, ladies and gentlemen. And why would I change this now and say, oh, dynamically we have to adjust and it's a bearish pattern now? It doesn't make any sense. It's not. Okay, listen, it's a retest. Listen closely. It's a retest, and what's likely. And you have to wait. The only way is look. We're consolidating. I'm not making this up. I didn't draw this yesterday. You and I, guys, we did not draw this yesterday like all those other rookies out there. We let the trade come to us. This is a buy point. Whether you do it now or you do it later, it's this range. We're going to play with this range. We're going to be buying this range until we make it back up to that orange line. Simple as that. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know if we're going to go south and then east and then north. But all I know is that the target from here is only up. And then we'll see. We'll see what to do with it then. Because all those people who are calling all sorts of different cases, like, what's your setup? Okay, and if you have a bearish case, like a very, very strong bearish case, good for you, right? But you know what, man? Go short then. Your only option now is to go short, put a stop loss right here, and take profit at 10K. Case closed. Case closed. And what we're going to do is we're going to trade the setup that we have conceived way back when, and now the price came back to one of our inflection points. And there's a struggle in there. There's uncertainty. Not for us. We know which way from here. And it's been a buy. Let me just zoom out again one more time. And I know you're going to blast me for this, but count the GPS dots on this chart. And then zoom in on any one of them and tell me, how long did you have to wait? Like, what was your maximum wait time? I'm going to wait. Every GPS dot, I would say the worst one was one in 2013 over there. It took a little while. Look where we are right now. Now, these GPS dots don't mean shit. It's an oversold momentum. And we've been selling into support, and price just doesn't want to go lower. Need I say more, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, so these are the setups that you don't start charting this because price is moving all of a sudden. You're freaking out and you're like, there's some action now. You prepare for this. You get your OBV right. You look at your momentum. You look at your pattern. You have it preset in advance. Now, the platoon may not be getting frequent updates, and some of you are like, yeah, but there should be like a trade every day. No. Not going to be calling trades every day. There's a chart, and if you want to play macro, directionally, you're safe until we all come to the same conclusion and say, look, things are not looking good. There's more downside potential. And on the higher time frame, sure. But those higher time frames take a long time to play out. It's going to take a long time for everything to play out. So what are we to do? Well, we should trade what's right in front of us. As traders. As investors, start looking for longer term investment strategies and patterns that your buy point is not now. I am finally starting to understand Michael Saylor and his whole obsession with Bitcoin. For my New Year's wishes, right? Christmas and thereafter, everything. I want to see the banks burn. And I'm sorry if you work for one. We all at some point worked for one. Actually, in a very poetical sense of the word, yeah. You may have worked for the bank, even if you didn't officially, if you weren't hired and work for the bank, you still worked your ass off for the bank. And I want to see them burn and go down to hell. And my dollar is not tied to the bank. Oh, but it is. No, I mean, it isn't. I have it and I'm going to deploy it. And I'm going to go all in like Sailor, just not here. This is not my buy-in price. This is my trading range where I can stack more sats and certainly perhaps sell less. Look, I have enough to just not sell a single Bitcoin. I'm just a greedy bastard when it comes to it. When it comes to taking profits, I don't have FOMO. The only FOMO I have is, what if I don't take profit now? What if the market, it's so I exit early. And I'm yet to fall flat on my face, ever. And I think that has a lot to do with me cracking the code of the market and understanding that you're not really holding for long periods of time as a trader. That's what it comes down to. You get rid of your greed. There's nothing to hold on to. Get in and get out. And that's, Anyways, Bitcoin, it's and the more I look at this chart, the more I meditate on it, the more I understand, like, God damn, this is revolutionary. So who fucking cares if it's 60K or 50K? Honestly, if anything, people look back at 2017, for example, 2013, and they don't even care about if they're starting to understand the cycles, and that is normal, and they're fearless. Now that's dangerous, but it's also, Bitcoin is in very unique position to prove that for the first time ever, maybe this is like people's money, and it doesn't fucking matter if it's tied to the markets, if it's they're trying to like say the wallets are centralized, this and that. Listen, I was not unaware, but those Bitcoin was a historical, like when the shit hits the fan, like Cyprus, right? That was I didn't even know that Bitcoin played a big role during that time. Like holy shit. And I just thought of like what could potentially go wrong. You can't rely on fiat systems, period. Right? I mean, it doesn't mean you have to deny it and stay broke and not embrace it. You have to like be greedy and collect it too, and exchange it for valuables and whatnot. Hell, buying underwear, socks, simple shit like that. Even that's more valuable than holding it, in my opinion. Eating it, getting that nice juicy burger at Wendy's. I don't know, whatever you're into, right? So that kind of thing. But yeah, looking at this chart, it's like you want to be buying this, you want to be accumulating this, and so you want to be trading it less, because the frequency of your trades is going to determine how often, how profitable are you. And small correction here. We're in a very unique situation here, Platoon. We're in a very unique situation because we have tools like SPY and Bybit Pro, which just gets rid of a lot of these concepts about trading altogether, and it's a completely new way of looking at things, right? It's almost like everything is delegated. To identify trades, you're presented with a visual cue, boom, right there. To get in and out of a trade, Bybit Pro, a single button, pre-program it. You can be the laziest fuck in the world and still succeed trading Bybit Pro. You don't have to be active. Bybit Pro is active for you. It's just, you click a button, it gets in, gets out. If you heard and learned and you're a witness to a system that works, and you say, okay, CR's got a point. ATR mathematically makes sense. What can go wrong? Backtest it. The data is right there. It's right in front of you on smaller time frames, 15-minute time frames, 15-minute ATR maximum up on a daily time frame. Like, you're taking profit on time, and you're not looking at flat horizontal lines, Fibonacci's. I'm going to hold it on to. By the way, that trader I talked about who was short on Lira, guy told me he wanted to go down to, he wanted to go like USD divided by TRY. He waited specifically mentally somehow, a sicko. He wanted to go to 20. Like 1 to 20. So 1 United States dollar is worth 20 liras. He thought he was just going to go to that round number. And he bombed his whole account when their president came out and announced a new monetary policy. And the funny thing is, during the speech, he was like, we're trying to minimize market fluctuations. And you look at the Lira and USD chart, and you're like, what the fuck? Seriously? So it's interesting, right? So why 20? No, he was not using ATR. He would have been sitting in profits, millions, right? But now he's down and he owes on his account. It's a forex trader buddy of mine. So, yeah. And He knows everything that I know. We used to work together. And yes, he trades with MarketSpy, but sometimes you just don't follow the rules. Sometimes you just tell yourself silly shit like, I'm going to wait. It's at 18. I got in when it was at 9. It's at 18 now. I'm going to exit at 20. And he just put that thing in there, like a mental, I don't know what it is, like an anchor. He anchored himself like VWAP to that specific area, just like a Fibonacci would tell you that, look, it's right there. That's the price target. You got to hold till it hits it. And the ATR is like, F you, man. Redraw your lines because I'm going to do something else. So the volume and momentum is what's important. No one's holding in the markets to a specific. It's just that in the aftermath of everything, you start drawing stuff and you're like, oh yeah, it lines up perfectly. But you can't really predict what the next move is going to be like. I mean, directionally holding on to those specific numbers is a fatal mistake. But yeah, looking at this chart, you want to be looking for buying opportunities regardless. So this whole thing can, like, those Tibetan monks, they would use like grains of rice. They would hold grains of rice in the palm of their hand, and they would slowly just release those grains of rice. They would fall down, and they would form like certain patterns, and they would do like those mandalas, right? Those trippy, pictograms of things, like flowers, or like when you close your eyes, you see those kind of things, or mandalas, right? So they would do that, and it would take years, sometimes 2-3 years to complete a painting. They should NFT that. By the way, they should go ahead, like somebody go to Tibet and tell them how to mint an NFT out of that. That's just like the the scarcity on that is beyond, right? Like it's there one moment and then it's gone the next, because what they do is they wipe it. The swift maneuver like this, and everything's wiped, right? And that whole pattern that they've been working on for 2 years is gone. This chart right here, what you're looking at, is kind of like what that is. So until it's invalidated, until it's broken, until it's completely untradeable, and you can have, you see this right here? You can have a little like peak below here against it. You can trend through this a few times and still manifest what we're projecting here. A Bitcoin recovery, like it will. It's going to do it in its own style, to make sure that no one gets in on the train in time. So that's what the whole thing is all about. And but yeah, I think this pattern, this is what I left you with. It's only been a couple of weeks, right? And we've been trading sideways as predicted. There's no breakout, there's no breakdown. And today, I think when it goes back down to perhaps the daily CPR for tomorrow, I think that's a trade also. Like, you're getting in and you're holding this. So if you're trading a daily chart here, you're holding it for another 3,000, 5,000 points in the coming days, in my opinion. Will it hold? Will it actually show? Is there early signs over there? I'm looking at volume right now. It is sort of declining, but not really. Those are two towers that are rising above the moving average almost. And we're going to see. We're going to see how that goes. But I think this range is a buy regardless. So meaning that when you get a MarketSpy signal and you have it, you're buying into it. Okay, you have your baseline reclaim on 15, 1 hour. Don't make me do this. Like without even the helper signals, just by looking at the green and the red candles, tell me there was no money there, short or long. Like, how is this different? Just make sure you exit. If you're getting in on 1 hour ATR, make sure your maximum exit ATR is 30 minutes. Maximum. Better yet, go for 5, 15, tops. It's still an intraday within an intraday, 1 hour chart within a daily chart. When it just starts to show you early signs and it sets up a trend. Remember, this trend is going to end. And we're projecting that this ending of the trend is going to call for Bitcoin to go back to 60s. So you don't want to bet against that. You want to be buying these red candles, and you want to exit on green candles. It's right there. Look. You have your pyramids, accumulation zones. You have extreme choppy baselines, and we're going to continue to consolidate. But right now, for the first time ever, on this hourly chart, for the first time ever since the 69K dump, for the first time ever, you're seeing a bullish crossover of the 50 and 200. Failed crossover right here. Will it stick? We'll see. If it does, good, it's going to continue moving up. If it doesn't, at least you had an attempt. It's a bullish sign, and that means the second attempt is just around the corner, and that's not going to hold. That's going to push the price all the way through and make it jump. And when it's ready to jump, you want to be there. So once again, it's an hourly time frame, and we had one attempt here. Price failed, but it chopped through the failure of the crossover forever. It took 3 days and 6 hours. So if you're coming to any conclusions here and you think like the trend is ending on this crossover, which is tracking price and is in sync, I would think twice about shorting this. In my opinion. So it's one of those trades that is going to require time. And I think there's a potential that this bearish crossover is not going to happen. It's going to, price is going to come back here, and then it'll probably cross over here. Point number 3. So the moving average crossover on 2 hours indicates a bullish momentum where price is now floating above the 250 EMAs. Cool. Since the drop, mind you, since the drop of 69K, for the first time, we're seeing some strength. And it's just one single daily candle, which it's allowed to retrace all the way back before attempting another run up. Point number 2. I'm just going to go to 4 hours right now. I'm going to zoom out again, and I'm going to kindly ask you to pay attention to the red clouds on MSX and see an average duration, the longest of which has been here. How long they've lasted? 71 days, okay. And by looking at this red territory with multiple bullish attempts here, I want you to ask yourselves a very simple question. What happens after the red? What happens when the oscillator cannot stay red anymore and doesn't stay red anymore in a situation like with Bitcoin, where the average time spent there is roughly 60 days? And finally, point number 4, we're going to zoom out to weekly. And we're going to look at this red crossover dot, and we'll see how it's in sync with the price and how we're in the green trend flow, and the delta is coming right up. Delta is coming up. If we go to 5, a crossover is a bullish green dot. By the time you see a bullish green dot, it is time to sell, because it is going to be an impulse a few hours, minutes, or seconds prior to the print. And as soon as traders see that, they're going to get in and push the price higher. You want to be in before that. You want to be in on this range if you want to make some money. Here's the green dot. It is printing now, but you could have foreseen that and forecasted that a few days ago on this candle when you were seeing the delta moving to the cross line. Now, just because it's green doesn't mean you got to get in now. You're like, oh, right? But I'm just saying, much like with anything else, this could have been a Q. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you guys been trading that. Most likely, I know the Platoon and Discord, you guys most likely posted some really profitable trades along the way. Good for you. But for the rest, especially if you're new to this, I am saying that you're paying attention to the lightning here, which is fast, and you've been in the red here for a little while. Could be a starting point, could be ways to go still, but anytime when you saw a gray cloud, you didn't end up with one single candle. This is one candle on the gray cloud, okay? Here, most oversold it was. Even then, hell, from here, if you along the top to here, was like, let's bring this 2,000 points, right? And I don't care what size you're pushing, as long as you know when to get out. It's very simple here. Bottom range, couple of wicks. Yeah, so are we expecting more? Okay, so what if this happen? What if this pushes down and fails and prints another green dot? Dude, do you know what that means on a 2-day chart? Yeah, the green dot that everyone loves to hate. They don't realize that on upper time frames, it's a mega oversold bull signal. And on this young, pretty chart, Bitcoin is... There will come a time when one of these days, and I hope this is not it, this green dot will fail. So hard. But we're not there. We're not there to capitulate now. It's not going to happen now. So until it does, be right or do not trade. And like I said, if you're pushing a bearish narrative, you better be... See, when I'm bearish, I'm looking for... It's weird because in order to be bullish, you have to be bearish. Like how are you going to get in if you have to find some bearish argument to say, like, look, I'm getting in way lower and I'm getting in nice and fat and I'm just going to sit on it, brew on it, and let it just do what it does, right? Multi-year plan. Or on intraday charts, you're like, I need a pullback. I need it to come back down. Otherwise, I'm not chasing it. And when it's bullish, you start feeling bearish because you're like, yeah, what goes up must go down. Simple, right? There's no magic to any of this. But if you don't do your homework and you oversize and you just get in whenever, whatever, right? And then you freak out and close your trades because it's not immediately giving you what you want, doesn't mean you're wrong. It means that you need to wait a little bit, right? These things take forever. So you could be doing your homework for 10 days in a row and then have that one trade that's going to compensate for all those 10 days. Am I right or am I right? You guys know what that is. You know what it's like. We'll be right back after this break. In a world where everyone is bearish, my friends, we, the 1%, should stay level-headed. Do not follow the fudsters. Throw them in the dumpsters. Oh, what was that? What was that? What was that? You want to know? You want to know what that is? Platinum YouTube button. Oh, but where's your million subscribers, CR? I don't need them. I went out there. Tonto, he set up a deal. Yes, CR. Thank you for the credit. You're welcome, Tonto. But he set up the deal. You know, we met up with some YouTube execs. And I told them, look, we're the best channel on TA in the world right now. And they're like, prove it. So I give them a link. One of our previously aired streams. And they come up to me, right? This guy, Peter, head of PR at YouTube. He's like, CR, we're so sorry. Here's your YouTube Platinum Play button. You don't need any subscribers. We apologize. Have it. And I was like, pfft. You got family pictures. I got stuff. I got Warren Buffett. Me and Warren Buffett over there. You think I care about your Platinum button, Peter? Shove it. Anyways, Tonto insisted, and he was like, take it or we're not doing another live stream. And I was like, all right. Take it with you. Set it up. So there it is. You think we care? You think we're going to wait for 1,099,000 losing subscribers out there to come and come on. Tonto's the man. Took care of everything. So there you go, guys. We have a YouTube Platinum button. But yeah, without further ado, I do want to present to you the final chart here that we're going to be looking at, and this is the dollar. Get the money, dollar bills, y'all. Hey, so it almost made our target. It can still. All right, let's just assess a little thing over here. Boom. Boom, you have your bull triangle, boom, 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 extension, boom, full target potential, all right, call it 97.69, boom, target made, and then failure, and then we go back down. Does it happen on USD often? Yes, it does. Does momentum stop you? Do we have supporting momentum to do this? Which for Bitcoin means correction for you to buy into. Look, let me just say that you see momentum here. Momentum is not allowing us. It's not allowing us to go up on the dollar, which means Bitcoin up, dollar down. And this uptrend here, this triangle here, the dollar people, the bulls, obviously when we called a rise on the dollar from here, and yet another point from here when we said Bitcoin is going to correct, and it did, right? We were looking at this chart. We had our labels here from like years ago. Well, not years ago. You know what I mean? Not in the moment when it's happening, but when it's actually, when it was time to look at a setup, and we looked at it. So right now I'm telling you that this is not likely to hold, and the dollar is going to pierce through this support, fail, go back down to 94 to retest this cap right here. What does it mean for Bitcoin? Our previous assessment here on this channel, if you're just catching on to it now, you should go back and check it out. Bow down to Wu-Tang. Absolutely. It's not even a conversation right now. Bow down. But yeah. I think I know who the winner of the special hidden Merry Christmas box present is going to be today. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. You just have to do what you would normally do during a live stream on any channel. I'm just saying. And the one who comes out on top of it all gets the prize. And I have a very nice prize lined up. And it's only one. I'm sorry. I'm not Santa here. I don't know if you've been good or bad the whole year through. If you've been following my the setups here and the advisory board, the financial advisory board, then you've been a good boy. If not, well, maybe next year. Maybe next year. So, yeah, dollar is to fail here, but only briefly. So Bitcoin, give it another daily candle of 3,000, 2,000 points, I'll say. Yeah, and then we have to be a little bit more cautious, but continue. Look, if it breaks down here and does not break out of this triangle here on the dollar, means potentially more downside. Now for Bitcoin, it's going to be up, then chop sideways, then down, then sideways, then up again. That's my predicted pattern here, because this is exactly what's going to happen with the dollar. Down is going to go up, going to go sideways, then more down, Bitcoin up, dollar down, and this is the pattern that you're looking at. Bigger flag that we can actually, trade and rely on, and then we should see what Bitcoin is. But like I said, directionally up to the 60s is the general bias here for me. Okay, I don't know how you interpret this data, but hopefully the track record is, if you're new to the game here, to us, take your time. But for the rest of you guys, I would not open my mouth if I had no conviction and did not risk my own capital to participate in these setups. I do it for myself. I share it for you because why not? I don't lose anything. There's everything to gain. You don't lose anything. Risk management is top priority. There will be situations where you might need some guidance along the way, and if we do find ourselves in a sticky situation, then we'll find a way how to come out of that. We move as one. This is the platoon we're talking about here, the 1% of the 1%, and trading is our bread and butter, and so we take this thing seriously. Now, for those of you who have been making money throughout this whole time, whether it's on MarketSpy signals or just gliding along trading, you have probably accumulated like a nice stack already. And what it comes down to now is, I think looking back a year in review, you have to look back and understand that, look, you've been making money, and if your winning trades outnumber your losing trades, if there are any. And by losing, I mean like stopped out trades. Because to me, a losing trade is when you throw a stop loss and you decided to give your money back to the market for some reason instead of waiting it out, or because you're following the rule book and say like you never trade without a stop loss. Understandable. Not going to argue against that. But you did lose money. If that's the case, you don't have to do this to yourself, but you did it anyways to be safe. And comfortable is not how you make money. Safe means you're not risking anything to make anything. So stop losses is the main catalyst. It's not the number of contracts that you're trading, but look, you can hang on to a couple of thousand contracts, survive the volatility for a few days, and come out in profit. You don't have to be instantly in profit, especially if your liquidation point is like in the 10,000, 20,000 range, right? You've got some flexibility there. Franco Mondo! Welcome, my friend. First time on our live streams. Maybe not the first time, but certainly it is good to see you here, my friend. So glad I joined, as they say. I was about to give up trading for real after a huge loss on Binance. Sometimes you got to step back, reevaluate. I'm part of this community since 2 weeks and have 39 winning trades, 0 losses. Bazam! I think it's the feeling that we all share. I certainly do. Give it up for Franco Mondo!
Yay! Welcome, Franco Mondo. My name is Tonto. I run this stream.
Nah, don't listen to him. He's responsible for the...
I do run this stream, CR.
Okay, don't piss him off. Tonto is the only entity here that we need to worry about, because he can... Do you guys know he banned me from my own Discord one time? That's how bad he is. And yeah, you don't want to end up in his burning office. The pit hell. The hell pit. Where he trades, where he lives, where he operates. Tonto is a thing.
And a special warm welcome for Franco Mondo from Crypto Demon.
Yeah, that's another one of our. It's the one that whispers, go long and go short at the most inappropriate times. And then we also have the ones that are not subscribed, but I always think, are we going long or are we going short? I don't want to be a part of this. I'm still watching. And we have that girl over there that always does that. But she'll join soon enough and become a man like the rest of us. Even if you're an alien from Mars, you can still be a man here in the 1% club. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Give it up for Fabio Lopez. Yes, my friend. You're very welcome here. Platoon is the only thing. You're right. Fish Doctor says, great call against the DXY. Bitcoin will rise higher again. Yes, we will see. We will see. But that's it's looking like that might be the case here. Too early to say. But yeah, chop up, down a little bit, then up again is my zigzag move here on the Bitcoin trade. Oh, Franco Mondo is function 1. Yes, I remember. Welcome. Greetings. Alexandra is in the house. Chat, I'm so sorry. I have not been paying attention. Let's see who else is here. Long live the 1%, says Taratu 2. Taratu 2. Yeah, so could it be? Are you looking at this channel as well? Tell me if you're looking at this channel. And if you are, so yeah, this is another interesting setup here. And what I think we're talking about here when we're talking about a revisit of the 60s is, so max distance potentially here after a brief consolidation is going to be like this. It may not necessarily go up to here immediately because that's just 55. So go up fast enough and you will overheat the momentum. All right, you're going to trigger the heat line, the heat indicator on MSX, and that's dangerous. Now you just worsen everything, and you're coming back down. You want to keep consolidating bullishly, and slowly recover and start, laddering yourself up. Staircasing up, just going one step at a time. And this extends over here. Let's just speculate wildly and say 44 days from now, at the end of next month, we're back at around knocking on the doors of 60s in this manner, right? At which point all traders around the world get triggered on the head and shoulders setup and start shorting it. They start shorting it. They're right. They're making a little bit of money. They start calculating the neckline, and they're saying, wow, I can hold this all the way back down to here. Bitcoin goes a little bit to HC and recovers. Breaks above the resistance and finds itself trading in this region right here. Close it back to all-time high, but still under. And after that, it starts to go down. That's sort of... I'm not going to be like one of those Twitter guys and say, I would like to see that. We want to see that. I don't care what you want to see, bro. I don't care what you think the market owes you. I'm not a fan of when traders do that. They're like... It's very simple. Here's a line here, here's a line here, here's a line here. What we don't want to do is come back to the previous trading range over here. We want to pump from here, and we want to meet this target here. So I'm getting in here. My stop loss is here, and the R to R, risk to reward ratio here is pretty good. It's 1 to 3, so I want to be trading this. And when it actually does happen after failing, triggering their stop loss, they come on and tell you, I just made $10 million, guys. Bitcoin trading, wow, life-changing opportunities, these trades, we're so good. We're so good at this, $10 million. Let's push for 20. Can I get 200,000 likes, please? Let's go for 20 million next time, guys. Come on, we can set the record. My dear viewer, how the fuck does that affect you? What does their pocket have anything to do with your pocket? Listen, guys, stay focused and forget the bullshit. You want to be buying in people who are trading size, man. Above 200k contracts, you want to be lower. It's not here. The upside here is promising, but it's not going to be the maximum reward that you're looking for here. Okay, there's still downside, and anybody who doesn't talk about downside doesn't know what they're talking about, period. So, I'm trading what's right in front of me. But I think I might actually, get in on this and wait. So during this consolidation, right, up until this point, like I said, I'm gonna dump my P&Ls. 14 days of nothing but profitable. 0.5. 0.3, 0.1, 0.0071 trade, depending, right? But mostly 15-minute chart, baseline reclaim, couple of pyramids, oversold momentum, wait a few hours, boom, you're in profit, right? So it's been really, this range has been very kind and profitable. No stop losses, because if you did have stop losses, if it's at the wick, every wick got picked up and killed. So those were the entries. Those were the green squares, the green dots, the pyramids. Those were the things down there. The lightning bolts telling you to take profit in a GTFO, right? That's where people have their stops inside a consolidating range. Now, we just triggered the first wave of stops here. There's more stops right here, and more stops right here, And when we run that level, finally, there's an immediate stop loss, but it's not going to hit it right here. So that's like the ultimate first target to go to. And we've got ways to go. Now, this is a Heikin-Ashi candle chart, right, with rising momentum. No signs of strength on the long-term trend flow, so don't expect this to continue continuously go up. Now, have we seen anything like it before, where we had we have seen something like this, right? So you can expect a few of these bad boys to print here, and you're likely to trigger this 50K round number psychological resistance, run that to 51, get rejected, and go back down. That's exactly how the dollar is set up to do its thing right now, right? We talked about dollar going down, Bitcoin going up. Now, they don't have to trade in unison and go against, it's just one metric we look at. It's not like, when the dollar goes down, but look, they can be both going up and both be going down at the same time. So we only trade what's out there, what's been working for a little while, and we can still trade along the way. And if that's the case, we're looking at Bitcoin doing exactly this. So it's a good early sign. Buyers who want to get in heavy, like on this wick, will need to wait a little longer, unfortunately. And it's funny because when price is dumping and we're like pro Bitcoin, where are the buyers? I'll tell you where. They'll come in when it's time for us to sell. Okay? Right now, scooping up all the coins here. Well, when this thing starts to accelerate, all those clowns are going to jump in on this and give us our exit point. And that's around here. First target. And I'd say we'll grind against here and then come back. Like I said, they're going to be going for that head and shoulder. The reason that this needs to happen is because there is no lower high for a continuation down. There's no lower high. So I don't care where you get in. You're still coming out in profit if you're long. Simple as that. We've been dumping for a little while. We are obviously below a broken trend line, and this obviousness is not good because it's too easy. The money is hidden in the charts that are not obvious, and what is most likely going to happen that is not there. If your neighbor is looking at the same setup, trust me, it's not happening. There's something else that's in the kitchen. There's something that's cooking. It's a different type of dish. That's the one. So we're trying to comb through all this and speculate that it ain't what it is. It's not your levels. It's not your fibs. It's not your nothing. It's something that you're not seeing right now. It's something that is developing, but hasn't developed yet. And what hasn't developed yet here is a lower high. It's not here. And we're going to trade it. We're going to go long. We're going to hit it. We're going to print it. We're going to exit on it. And then we'll see how to deal with it from there. Sounds like a plan? Let's go. Let's go, guys. And market maker, what are we saying? Calling new all-time high in 2022. I don't know who's calling it. I'm not calling anything. I have to call my mom. Wish her a Merry Christmas. That's a good reminder. That's the only person I need to call right now. I'm not calling any targets. It's not our job. Market Maker has been good to me, says Clifton Lewis. Indeed, Market Maker is the magic bullet. But there's no such thing
There's no such thing, CR. No magic bullets, no shortcuts in trading. I know this. I know this from experience because I've been losing all my life. I've been losing so many trades I gave up. I have no hope. Yours is just another indicator, just another tool. Who needs Bybit Pro when I can do limit orders on my own manually?
Okay there, Felicia. Whatever you say. And we're new to all this. Yeah, right. Sure. Experience. Look, guys. How about this channel breakout right now, huh? It's not there. I don't think it is. Is it? I don't know. Not likely. Not seeing the volume. Actually, the amount of volume that's coming in on this small, tiny, little candle that's almost matching. It's matching these two over here. It's not a good look. So pull back. So this is the exact same. Okay, let's flip this. Let's flip this upside down. Okay. You see this? Widening mouth over here, right? Whatever. And jump back to the dollar. You can see the similarities here. Now let's flip this upside down. Yeah. Supporting momentum. Does this make sense? I think so. So the correlation here between Bitcoin right now, I think there's correlation, right? I think we can rely on the signs right now and trade it accordingly. So it's a possibility there. It's a very good possibility for Yeah, I'm not going to trade the obvious. The obvious is it's bearish, you know, we're retesting. If we're retesting, maybe you go a little higher. Give me like 57, you know, and I'll start worrying about it. Single daily candle is bullish, just the start of things. It can and most likely will retrace back to, you know, call it 48, 47, right? The 40, actually the bottom here on, I don't know what it is with 45.5, but it's been holding up nicely. So in order for it to go down, it first needs to go up. True. At the same time, we've been consolidating, and in order for us to go up, we needed to go down, and we've been down. Does that make sense? So my conviction here on this in this range is that we trade sideways and ultimately make our way back up to these levels. So this remains. I don't know if we go down first, then go up, or if we break out now and then go sideways. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that we're establishing some sort of platform here away from which we will bounce. Is that you know, can we agree on that? Yeah. Okay, and no overthinking here. No overthinking in terms of like what could happen here. You know, analysis should be simple, and I'm not there. Just by looking at this, I know I don't need to overlay with Armageddon to know that there's resistance that's incoming, and a drop back down to the baseline is Like I said, 47.5 buying in, right? Most likely going to trade around here. This is a daily chart. First daily reclaim, guys. Will it hold? This. No need to go far. Just focus on this. Try to understand like how you can mold your bias around this, right? Like looking at this thing over here. This thing right here. This is how it could happen. First reclaim, right? First little candle. It's above. It's going to go back down. Maybe trade the lows, you know. But you're still pushing longs here in the direction. You're still pushing longs. You're building some sort of support. What else? Consolidation. And here's another drop. Crazy freaking drop, right? Baseline reclaimed. You're looking at a very very similar situation right now. There's another baseline reclaim here. Here's another baseline reclaim. Couple of days later, price drops, retest, continues. You know, we're seeing signs of life. Here's another one. Here's a baseline reclaim. This could happen now. This could happen. Let's just say, what if it does? 12 days of a downtrend from now, 14, 15, 12% drop. But then you're still setting that lower high. You need to set it. So it doesn't matter how you're going to do it. You're still going to do it. We're looking for a place where a baseline reclaim with support and momentum failed, and we're not seeing it. Here's another reclaim. Couple of candles later, boom, right? Just stressing the market. Here's a reclaim, came back. Okay, here's a failed one. But excuse me, this was at the top, and huge range consolidation. Still, these reclaims are. Yeah. So this one, but then you see there was a compression, right? So it's a slightly different story here, and it failed and it broke down, right? So that was a tell sign right there. So where else? And we're back at the history. So there's only been like a few of them. You can count them. And hell no, I'm not shorting this. Are you crazy? Are you insane right now? No, I'm not shorting this. I don't care what it is. This reclaim is after a few candles that have gone sideways. And it didn't like pump ridiculously where the baseline was here. If the baseline was here and we had a reclaim, boom, instant short because that's exhaustion. This, few tiny little candles, nice pump above it. Please come back down, consolidate further, and off you go. You're pushing longs here, guys. No questions, all right? You want to make money, you're pushing longs, okay? Until it's proven that this is not working and the market is trying to do something else, and this thing will fail. It'll be historical first, and unfortunately for us, our first could be our last. It's only a matter of time before you stumble, you know. So if you're not sure, stay away from this. For the risk takers and the money makers, it's your long setup. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. You have how many of these long quadruple dot GPS dot setups are you going to have on a daily freaking chart? Which means after each one of these signals, you're allowed to have up to a month of sideways consolidation before you see a reaction. There's going to be a catalyst. There's going to be some piece of news or something that comes out and it's like, right? Short liquidations, everything. That doesn't matter. That catalyst is going to drive the price up to our targets. You're pushing longs. End of story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do have, and yeah. Shorts, this target line here, right? To tap it, this is your EQ1. This is the only place where you can start thinking about shorts in this range, right? This is the only place. So the 2-day chart is bearish starting at 53. So like I said, once we're on the $50, I think is going to retreat. It'll be oversold. It'll pump Bitcoin sideways, dump more sideways, and then we're gonna see like a similar thing here, and it's just gonna take time. All right, we're in a safe zone right now. I know it looks freaky. It looks like, damn, this thing can break down or like God knows what, right? But I'm telling you, it's a safe zone. We're building a base. All your bays belong to us. You get the reference, guys? Dear bulls, be the green that you want to see in the world. Be the green that you want to see in this world. Huh? Freaking me out. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I am CR, reporting live from the Citadel. We're out here in the space. This is the Meta. Nah, I'm not going to go there. And now for the final announcement here. We're gonna get let me see. Remember how I said we're gonna have a prize at the end of this? Let me just look at something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, we have cash prize winners. I'm going to be contacting Clifton Lewis and John Bun Johnny for the number of comments and interactivity and contributions to the chat, for the number of good questions, support, good wishes, and overall reaction times. You are the winners of today's sessions. Allow me to present a Christmas gift of $500 total pot divided by 2 people here. A nice little bonus for cryptopocalyptics that are truly present in the moment, learning, asking questions, participating, interacting. Chat, if you're sleeping, that's just life. If you're awoke, you're awake, you're active, that's also life. And so everything gets distributed accordingly. The markets, it's just human behavior. Thank you for your support, Clifton Lewis. And for this session specifically, excluding everyone else, John Bun Johnny, you guys have been amazing, and everyone else as well. So we're going to wrap it up on this note. It's been a good session, and hopefully next time more of you guys participate and keep the chat alive, because it can be a bit more energizing. I know it's winter, but we're not sleeping. We're just getting new signs from signs of life from Bitcoin, and definitely we need to look forward to that. So I'm gonna get into our Discord in a bit, probably tomorrow. I'm running around with some taxes and stuff like that, taking care of those issues. But I'm gonna get back to Platoon and actually post a very specific chart setup that I want to trade. Right now, I went long, and I'm gonna step away from it for a few days. Okay, I went 1x. It's at the peak of the daily resistance on the fib levels right now, so probably not most ideal. But I was busy talking here, and I couldn't take profit. It was a profitable trade at the time. However, now I'm just gonna sit it out, wait it out. I trust my analysis, and there's nothing to it but to do it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next episode here at the pit. How do we end this? Tonto?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, can we just end this whole thing? Whoa. That's not where I wanted to go. That's wow.